Am I the only person who's literally getting paid like $0 from the Creator Rewards program? Like, a lot of these videos are getting tens of thousands of views, but it's quite literally just paying me nothing. Like, the main page, the gaming page, that one, I get like a couple $100 a month. This still doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. But it's like, the fragrance page, like, these videos are getting a decent amount of views. One of these videos has like 70K and they pay me 1 freaking cent, which is kind of crazy, but I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to somebody at support or something like that. I got no idea. My page isn't shadow banned by any means. I can still throw up lives. I still make a decent, not great amount from the TikTok shop. But it's like, damn, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, this program really used to pay me, like, full transparency. This program used to pay me 2 bands a month. I'm not getting paid a penny anymore from this. Now imagine I relied on this program entirely. Like imagine that. Like, that's just crazy to me. Am I the only person who's literally getting paid like zero?
So he went from making 2 grand a month passively. I wouldn't say passively, but definitely just from posting his videos alone is what it sounds like. And now it's not making a cent. Now it's not making a cent. Somebody in the comments said it could be due to the new watch time requirement, which is they have to watch the videos for a minute now on TikTok in order for the videos to actually earn any money. And somebody commented they're not watching the whole 1 minute, bro. And then somebody replied under that, you're right, they definitely got to watch the full video. If it was 2024, what bro was saying would have been correct. That's why the money was crazy back then. They been patched the 5 secs and made it a minute. Yeah, so you can't just make a 5 second video anymore and get paid just off 5 seconds. And I'm sure there's a plethora of other things as well. But there's a lot of people in the comments who are also dealing with these same problems, as far as just saying that they left over a year ago. And it's just hard. It's just hard. Y'all, before we get back into it though, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's literally just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also if you can hype the video as well.
Last month, I earned $3.55 per thousand views. This month, 10 cents. That is roughly 95% drop. Same content, same audience, same effort. TikTok, we need to talk. Now let me show you what that actually means. Since May 3rd, I have lost any additional rewards. I've still posted 17 videos. Combined, they've gotten close to 9 million views, over a million likes, almost 8,000 comments. By every metric, this has been one of the strongest stretches my channel has ever had. And you know how much I earned on this 9 million views? Roughly $300 on 17 videos and almost 9 million views. That's around 3.5 cents per thousand views. Not even the 10-11 cents TikTok claims, because TikTok only pays for qualified views, which can be only 1 out of every 3, 4, 5 views. Now look, I'm not here just to complain about money. I'm actually relatively lucky. I have a full-time job, I work in finance, I am well paid. For me, TikTok is a hobby. One I take seriously and hope to make my main occupation one day, but for now, I can live without this income. But think about every other creator out there. The ones who quit their jobs for this. The ones who put
Yeah, and depending on what he does in finance, he may need to be pivoting from finance. Depending on what he does in finance, he may need to be pivoting out of finance. Because what are you doing in finance? Because AI is here. And actually I would say the best thing that AI is good at doing is math. AI is, we can say other things that it can't do as well as far as creativity and, you know, just that thing that humans have that a computer just will never be able to have. But when it comes to things like finance, things that are pretty cut and dry, AI does it very well. So he may be needing to pivot anyway, but salute to him for having a job and making extra money. But I don't know if, because he said, I want to be able to do TikTok full time one day. I don't know what about TikTok is giving him the impression that this will ever be able to be something that's not volatile and that's stable enough to just put all your eggs in that basket one day. I don't know what he's going off of to think that that could be an aspiration for TikTok specifically, not referring to other platforms.
now, I can live without this income. But think about every other creator out there. The ones who quit their jobs for this. The ones who put everything on the line. Who sacrifice everything just to make content. How are those guys supposed to survive this? Another problem is that TikTok won't even address my complaint. I have close to 200,000 followers. On average, around 1 million views per day. And I still can get help from TikTok. They simply closed my ticket without addressing the issue. That's why I'm making this video. And before I go further, I want to be clear about something.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why would you want to put all your eggs in a basket with a company that don't even support you, don't even have support tickets? They just push it through. They don't even really address it, which is probably an indication that they really don't have a support team. They probably don't have a support team, or at least not a big enough support team proportional to the creators.
I'm not here to bash TikTok. I'm genuinely grateful for this platform. Compared to Instagram, compared to YouTube, TikTok helped me to grow the most, to build this channel. That's exactly why I'm asking them to fix this, because I care. But if I can get an answer, what chance does a creator with 10,000 followers have? What chance does someone who just started have? They have none. And that's the part that's not okay. TikTok, we need to talk. So this is for every creator watching right now, small and big. Stitch this video, share your RPM, show your numbers.
So TikTok, this is what y'all do?
The caption says, this is exactly why people say TikTok doesn't pay their creators, playing hella games.
So TikTok, this is what y'all do? This is what y'all do? I go viral a couple times. I get my first video that hits over 1 million views, and now y'all don't want to push none of my shit? Interesting. So TikTok, this is what y'all do?
So TikTok is just robbing us now. For the last month, all of my videos have come in with 0 RPM. That's $0, by the way. And it's not because I'm not eligible, and it's not because the videos are disqualified. They are qualified, they have qualified views, yet they're still generating $0. So I reach out to basically explain to them the problem, and they come back and they say, it's because your creator rewards programs are not coming from participating.
I don't know if I believe that. Y'all see what he's saying? It's because you're qualified views, and now they even only the views have to come from certain regions of the world now. What are the odds that he got all those views and you're telling me not one view came from America? See, and this is the thing you got to look out for as well. If a company is shady, and never, I know it was bought by the US, but I'm still skeptical on the fact that it was a Chinese company, because who's to say they could just be doing shady business practices and just not paying people for what they're supposed to pay people for, because they pretty much own the data. They pretty much own the data. They can manipulate the data. They can manipulate your analytics. They can just be like, this technically should get paid, but imagine if we just didn't pay creators at this level. And by this level, I mean, imagine if they said, all right, let's just take a large portion of creators with less than 10,000 followers, and let's just not pay them. And let's just come up with some BS and then never get back to them. What are they really going to do? They ain't going to sue us. They don't even have any proof to be able to sue for, and we can just say some BS like it came from these type of views when it didn't. And then they don't pay you. And then guess what? They can add some fluff to their balance sheet. They can add some more revenue coming in just like that, because they still got you working, but they don't have to pay you. And listen, I'm not saying that that's happening, but you really don't never know. Heck, if you're on YouTube, for all you know, you could be supposed to be getting paid 10x what you're actually getting paid. You really never know. You're relying off their analytics and their data.
Programs are not coming from participating regions, meaning that my views are not coming from the US, Great Britain, and other places like that. Well, as you can see, most of my views come from the United States and Brazil and the United Kingdom. So I respond back and I tell them, no, that's a lie. They come back and they say, oh, no, it's because your video has to be 60 seconds long and it needs to be.
See, this seems shady, especially to get that many views and just be directly at 0. He's not even in the sense. So you're saying nobody qualifies. That's unlikely. And so it seems like they may be blatantly robbing people.
Be not a duet or a stitch, and they need to watch it for X amount of seconds. So I respond back, hey champ, my views are average watch time of 29%. I have a 34% 30-second retention rate. People are watching my videos in the areas that you say they are. So what now? Their final response to me, please shut up. Please shut up. Please stop it. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing? You're robbing us, TikTok. Thank you. So TikTok is just robbing us.
Man, TikTok has become DoorDash. Ain't no more money on here, man. Like, if you getting on here creating, at this point, you just doing it for the fun and, you know what I'm saying, collecting the little scratch you getting. But the days of TikTok paying super thousands, it's over with. It's over with, man. I'm telling you, it is dead over with. These folk, I don't know, it's so crazy. Seems like every time you get something going, it gets oversaturated. That's why you gotta always invest when you have your hot moments, whether it be in business, whether you're a creator, whether you're in music.
Shout out to this man. Shout out to this dude. I always say that. He said you got to always invest when you have your hot moments. Man. So, for example, let's say you're like that other guy who has his finance job. And then let's just, for easy numbers, say you make 100 grand off TikTok. You're hot right now. You made 100 grand off TikTok. Oh, you're hot. You should invest some of that money. You should invest a good portion of that money, especially since it's extra money. Imagine if you invest just 50% of that. And then now you go through this with TikTok. Well, guess what? You could really stop now if you want to, because it may not be worth your time. But at the very least, you can be like, but I capitalized while it was fruitful and while it was lucrative. So you really can't have any regrets, any complaints. But if you're raking in the dough, you're making all the money, and you think kind of like his philosophy was as well, as far as I want this to be my long-term thing. And so this is only going to grow. This is only going to get better. And so you're spending all your money because you're like, nah, I'm going to make way more money than this in the future. Then you will be really disappointed. And now you have a missed opportunity in the form of an opportunity cost for investors. You had an opportunity to be able to put something away and even invest it, like you said, so that your money can start to work for you. But you thought that the well was always going to be flowing, and you never anticipated that on TikTok, or ultimately what we're referring to is that in business, that the environment can shift and things can shift and not be in your favor. People so optimistic, they never really foresee that.
Whether it be in business, whether you're a creator, whether you're in music, you gotta invest before other people find out what's going on. Then you gotta take that money and invest into something else like logistics, food industry, stuff that people need every day. Better be investing in a necessity that people need every day. That's where the money is. Real talk.
Unfortunately, this has happened to me.
TikTok is actively stealing from its creators and robbing them of what is rightfully owed to them. They've been doing this for the past 6 months minimum, arguably longer. We all know why, and in this video, I'm going to show you what recently happened to me, and this has happened to...
Really imagine the type of control that a platform could have. Because think about it. If a platform is on the verge of going bankrupt, and now, listen, I'm not saying this is that easy, especially when you have to actually get your employees to do certain shady things behind the scenes, like, say, for target this segment of people and just don't pay them. that could easily get out. So I'm not saying that they're doing it, but I'm just saying if TikTok's about to go bankrupt, what you think they have the potential to do? I feel like they would have the potential to be like, let's just not pay people for this month, or maybe for this quarter, or maybe for half the year. And then we can get right back on top. We can make sure our numbers is real good. And even let's say they're not doing bad, but let's just say they want to compete. So they want to get a little bit more cash flow coming in. That's another viable option. Because as you see, this is clearly a mass and widespread issue that's happening to a lot of creators where they don't understand. And maybe they did it in a legal way. And by legal way, I mean, you see that they created all these new stipulations. The viewers have to be in these regions. They have to watch the video for this amount of time. They added a lot of stipulations that's still basically doing what I'm talking about, just finding a way not to pay creators. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be a catch-all. It's going to catch a lot of people. It's kind of like when you work a job, and let's say the job had shifted to remote work. But then let's say they're like, we need to get rid of some people, but we don't want to explicitly get rid of some people. What are they going to do? They're going to be like, okay, everybody come back in the office. Why are they going to do that? They're going to do it because there's going to be so many people who got used to working remote that they're just going to be like, I'm not coming in the office. You're also going to have some people who, because they were remote, they might have actually moved away from the location that the office is in. And so that's going to be a great way to passively, just by creating a policy, actually get an objective or an outcome that you're looking for in the form of getting rid of a large amount of people. So I think that could be what TikTok could be doing, coming up with a policy that would then affect a widespread amount of people and ultimately still get them creating, but basically have them creating for free.
So many other creators, and it is utterly fucking ridiculous. So on July 15th, I was supposed to receive the over $3,100 that I amassed through the Creator Rewards program for the month of June, right? Signed, sealed, delivered July 15th. You get a payout for the previous month. That payout for me was over $3,100, and I'm not embarrassed to say that I desperately needed that $3,100. I needed
That's a good
that
portion of money.
No, it's a big deal. This same thing happened to me. TikTok just one day was like, no. And all the money they owed me, and it's a backlog that's behind.
Dang, this dude must be making a lot of money. This dude's famous on YouTube already. He gets a lot of views on YouTube. I didn't even consider the fact he's making money on TikTok too. I got to get my little multi-platform strategy going.
Needed that money.
No, it's a big deal. This same thing happened to me. TikTok just one day was like, no. And all the money they owed me, and it's a backlog that's behind a month. You know, like usually most jobs, it's like 2-week delay. This is a month delay. And when you first start, it's almost as if it's a month and a half. So imagine you work a full month. I know this might not seem like work to you. I get that. Just imagine you go to your job for a whole month. You got to wait a month to your paycheck. And then they go, no, I don't think so. Dude, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I think this guy actually got his whole previous account.
Well, that happens to contractors all the time. If you've never been a contractor, yeah, these are the type of things you have to worry about, especially when we're talking about just time frames as far as not getting paid for a month. There's a lot of companies that you may contract with where they have net 30, which basically means that they don't pay you for at least 30 days. So this happens to contractors, which if you are a content creator, you are operating in the form of a contractor. You don't get any benefits. You are not technically an employee. So you could fall victim to these things, especially smaller companies that may use you. You never know what could happen. They could just stiff you on the bill, of course. They could file bankruptcy. People don't ever consider businesses file bankruptcy all the time. And then the people that they still owe paychecks to, they don't pay. That happens. But TikTok is still a thriving business. So it seems like they may be just resorting to bad practices, which aren't really fair, and which is significantly changing the construct and the format that they went off of in order to get to the point that they are. And now they're changing things, and it seems like it could really be for the purpose of just not paying people.
TikTok just admitted that they're not paying the Creator Rewards program what they're supposed to, and I have it in writing. I made this video. That video went viral, and it was all about talking about how people are surviving in this economy with everything being so expensive. People were disgusting. People my parents' age were saying some of the most vile things I've ever heard, ever. Then I had a few creators, these guys, who then stole my video, and TikTok wouldn't take it down. So I ended up being like, is it worth the money to make this video, or is it worth it for my peace? And I took it down. So given that TikTok was supposed to pay me on that video with this many views and this much stuff right here. So I reached out to TikTok many times, and I said to them, you still owe me this money in this video. They said, put it back up and then we'll pay you. So I put it back up, and the month rolls by and they don't pay me. Finally, I get an answer. Finally, they say, we changed our terms and conditions, and there's a specific thing that you're not qualifying for, which is not true. Almost 50,000 views qualified.
Doesn't that sound like the other guy in the email? Like they're just throwing stuff at the wall and just hoping that one of the things you'll just back down and say, okay, whatever. And see, I don't have time to go back and forth like this. I make decisions, especially if I can just read the writing on the wall that this just isn't going to get resolved. Like, I'll typically just move on, and I will stand on business. And by stand on business, and I'm not even saying it's going to affect them, but it's going to be good for my mental health. And by that, I mean, I'll just leave the platform completely. Once I get an inkling and once I see something like that going on, I'll just move on. It's going to suck because you've built this up. And by built this up, I mean, you done got all these followers, you got all this time invested. And that's the part that people don't really think about when it comes to being a content creator. You invest time. And a lot of times, the beginning is the most grueling part and the most grueling aspect of the entire journey. And the reason why it's the most grueling is because at the beginning, you're having to hit a certain point in a certain cap to when you can actually start getting paid. So for YouTube, there's a bunch of things that you have to hit before you can start getting paid. And funny enough, before you even hit it, they do start putting ads on your videos. So they start making money off your videos. They're like, "Ooh, this is good." But you still haven't hit your 4,000 watch hours. Maybe you still haven't hit your 1,000 subscribers. And I think it's one more thing that you have to hit before you can start getting paid on YouTube. But they start making money off your videos once they deem it good enough to put ads on. As they see you rising, getting closer to that 4,000 watch hour thing. And the whole time you see the ads, you're like, you're messing up my viewership quality, and I ain't even getting paid for it. And it's a grind. And everybody's timeline and things of that nature are different. It may take one person 1 year to get monetized. It may take another person 5 years to get monetized. But imagine how it feels when you've been grinding for 5 years. Imagine somebody who's been grinding for 5 years finally got monetized on TikTok. And then they got monetized in the environment where we're in right now, where they done came up with all these little stipulations that they can just throw stuff at the wall to not pay you ultimately. So I feel for that.
And conditions, and there's a specific thing that you're not qualifying for, which is not true. Almost 50,000 views qualified. Almost 50,000 views. So TikTok is admitting they are not paying the creators what they're supposed to pay them. They're changing their terms and conditions all the time. Whether they follow what we signed or not, they can do whatever they want. So am I going to stay with the Creator Rewards program? Absolutely not. No one would work for somebody that they don't get paid. No one would. And there's so many other things that TikTok is doing. TikTok is not protecting their creators on the Spark ad like they're supposed to. We're supposed to get paid. I haven't been paid since November. They haven't paid me anything, and they know that. Someone created a TikTok shop seller account with my information. I didn't even know it. So all this time that I've been making these TikTok shop videos for you all, and I'm not earning anything off of it, is because there was a seller account under my name. And for the many times that I reached out to them and asked them about that, they said, no, it's not there. There's nothing exists. But it did. So all the money that I was supposed to be earning, I wasn't earning. If you're on TikTok and you're trying to make money in the Creator Rewards program, the best thing you can do is leave this app and go to Instagram. It's much better over there.
Look at what she posted. So this is what they sent her. They sent her, when you participate in the Creator Rewards program, the terms and conditions explicitly state that we reserve the right to update our program policies, calculation metrics. Ooh, see, that's deadly right there. Calculation metrics. That's what you don't want to hear. Oh, you'll take it. Oh, you'll actually execute on your ability to update calculation metrics. If an organization is going to update calculation metrics, do you think they're going to, which calculation metrics is ultimately how they're calculating how much you get paid? If they are going to update calculation metrics, you think they're going to update the metrics in your favor or in their favor? So they can just update calculation metrics. You could get paid $10 for 10,000 views, and that's the calculation metric. And then they can just decide that we're going to execute our right and pay you 1 cent for 10,000 views, as well as they can just not pay you at all. So they can just blatantly do that. It says, so they can update calculation metrics and the terms of service to adapt the platform. These updates apply to all active participants globally. Unfortunately, we do not have a grandfathered status that exempts specific accounts from new policy implementations or revamps. As previously noted, the figures displayed on your monthly earnings dashboard and Creator Rewards program dashboard remain estimates and are always subject to adjustments and deductions under current terms. Wow. So they're saying when you see stuff on your dashboard and it's showing you what you're going to get paid, don't count on that. That's estimates. So why is it on the dashboard? No, it's supposed to clear to where you know what it is. It says, as previously noted, the figures displayed are okay. Because we have provided you all available information regarding how your views are processed and why these updates apply to your account, we consider this matter fully clarified and resolved from our end. We truly appreciate the time and energy you put into your content and wish you the very best on your content journey. Hey man, people have died for less. People killed for less. Let me tell you something, man. That email was some BS. That's some BS. Just say you're taking advantage, man. Just say that. Yeah, that's crazy. This is why you have to understand as well when people think of investments only come down to financial in their money. No, your time is an investment. That can be in regards to a relationship that you may be in with somebody. Maybe you have friends where you just waste your time whenever you talk to them and y'all don't really talk about nothing. As well as we see, the things that you decide to go into as an endeavor is going to be an investment that you got to make sure is going to pay off. You see a lot of people go to school for dumb degrees. Hell, you see people who went to school for good degrees, but now AI has pretty much made their degree in their field ultimately obsolete. And so they invested that time. They even invested that money. And ultimately they invested their life into something that no longer is needed or no longer is lucrative. And so the same thing translates to whatever platform you're going to go on to if you're going to be a content creator. Discernment is a way of life. Discernment is a way of life. So the same way you should be discerning any decision in your life is the same way you should have been looking at a company and seeing whether or not you wanted to make that your main platform if you're going to be a content creator. If you're going to do anything, you probably want to go into the most effective and the most stable thing. So, for example, if I'm analyzing what I want to do, I would say the biggest thing right now is streaming. But it's the biggest thing right now. It's volatile. It's new, so we don't know how long it's going to be around. There have been other things that have been tried that didn't really pan off. But right now, it's a lot of people making money. But I think when you look at YouTube, for one, them as a business as a whole is good. They have their hands in different pots, i.e., they do cloud. They make money off cloud. They have Google Suite that they can even sell to corporations. They have Gemini, which is AI now. They have the search engine. They have marketing. They actually can put ads on their stuff. So I say this to say you're not ever going to probably have to worry about whether or not YouTube is going to pay you. As well as they have it pretty cut and dry and pretty simple as far as how the splits are between creators. The splits, I believe, is 55% to the creator in ad revenue and 45% goes to YouTube. So it's just cut and dry. It's just easy to understand. And you could find that out before you decide to invest all your time in a platform, all your blood, sweat, and tears. And then it gets to this point. But y'all, we'll leave it there for the day. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the video as well. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I am a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, the join button's on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.